Hello, we're back this week on the encouragement table. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Rachel.
And we are just excited to be here with you today, hopefully to give you a little boost in your day. Today we're going to talk a little bit about fear. Have you ever been afraid of something? Maybe the politic situation in this world, or the coronavirus, where our studio here is in Seattle. We're kind of at the epicenter of all the things happening, and it's very easy to just let that fear seep in. And so we thought we'd take a little bit of time today to tell you how we're dealing with it, and hopefully it can encourage you as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so here are some things that I've been doing, and hopefully they'll help you too. Number one, do not panic.
I'm really bad at that.
I know, it's so easy to panic, but if you feel it rising up, I don't know if this happens to you, but I just feel it like rising up, just take a deep breath and step away. And don't let that. God doesn't want us to live in that fear of being overwhelmed with fear.
That's really good.
So just don't panic. Watch what you read. You can be informed, but not obsessed. I don't know if this happens to you.
Yeah, I was just saying that I had to mute some of the notifications on my phone, like the news ones, because it was just too much coming right at me of like, this person or that person, it's just too much. So I decided, you know what, when I want to go look at it, I can easily look it up.
Yeah.
I don't need to have all the notifications coming towards me.
You don't need to read every single article. It's not going to change anything that's happening in your life right at the second. Be informed, prepare, but don't obsess, because obsession can lead to that panic, which leads us to prepare. So Costco's out of toilet paper.
And like all the disinfectant
and
stuff.
all the disinfectant stuff.
Hand sanitizer.
So you could go to Fred Meyer. I personally use ClickList at Fred Meyer. You don't even have to go into the store. They just come to you with everything.
That's smart.
Yeah,
I was at the store yesterday, and I seriously heard a checker say to a whole line of people, so it was like an hour wait to get through the store, and
Oh my
he
gosh.
goes, people, just wash your hands. Just wash your hands. Yeah. And there's something to say with that, where that is something we all know to do, but it's just a reminder. Yeah. Wash your hands. Don't put your fingers in your mouth.
Don't touch your face.
Yeah.
And okay, I read a statistic that only 5% of people wash their hands correctly. That means 95% of people can really improve in this area. Yeah. And I think we want to be in that 5%. So
sing ABCs
sing
while
ABCs.
you're watching. Just sing Twinkle Twinkle something to get you to do it.
Yeah. Wash them. Tell your kids to wash them too. I mean, talk to your kids. That leads us into that. So remind them how to wash their hands, especially if they're young. If you have just anyone, remind moms. My daughter used to lick shopping carts, you guys. That would be a really bad time to be doing that. But if you have a kid who does that, prepare the cart. Like, this is the time that you want to make sure your kids aren't licking the cart.
Yesterday, heard a mom. I was like, I'm putting this in my toolbox of when I'm a mom. She was the best. She looked at her son, and her son I could watch him. He was about to stick both of his fingers. And she goes, hey, today's the day we're going to keep our fingers in our pockets. You should see if there's something in your pocket. So immediately just switched his brain from like, I want to stick him in my mouth to like, look for something in your pocket. And then he didn't do it. I went,
that's a good
I'm
tip.
using that.
That's a good tip, because they are touching, and my daughter's a snuggler, so she's like all over, and you know, we need a little space right now. So that's good. And then finally, pray. I mean, take the time to pray for those who have been affected, for those who will be affected, for health and safety. And lifting things up to God is really going to just ease your heart.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have some verses to sort of end with that we hope can kind of etch themselves on your heart and just remind you that you don't have to live in the fear. So I'll do mine, and then you can do yours.
Perfect.
Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And that's in Philippians 4:6-7. And then from John 14:27, peace is what I leave with you. It is my own peace that I give you. I do not give it as the world does. Do not be worried and upset. Do not be afraid. And then Psalm 56:3. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you.
Oh, that one's good. And then we both actually have the same one, which is 2 Timothy.
It's always good.
1:7. Oh, it's the best. For the Spirit of God gave us For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid or fearful, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. And the fact that we get all three of those instead of fear is amazing. And one randomly that popped into my mind as you were talking is Psalm 37:4. And it's take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And I think reminding ourselves of the hierarchy of just delighting in God, and then all those desires, they're going to align with his. And that desire for your kids to be safe, that desire for family members. I know I have 4 grandparents all in their 90s. And I actually am very quick to fear this last week, hearing about all this stuff. They're really old, and reminding myself, okay, I've got to take delight in the Lord, and he will give me the desires of my heart, which is to keep them safe. And so making sure that's just God first, and then the rest.
Yeah, he wants you to be at peace. He doesn't want you to focus on the fear. Prepare, but don't let it become the obsession of your heart, because that's where Jesus should be, not the obsession over what's going on in the world. Let his peace transform you, and then go out in the world that way. I hope this has been encouraging for you.
Yeah.
We love to hear what you're doing to keep your family safe. If you're struggling with fear, we'd love to pray over you. So just leave a comment. And as a reminder, don't forget to follow us on Instagram so you can join us every week. See you next week.
Thanks.